Hey, it's Noah Wilson, and welcome to iHollywoodTV. Well, in the new action comedy, The Killer's Game, when top hitman Joe Flood is diagnosed with a terminal illness, he decides to take matters into his own hands by taking a hit out on himself. But when the very hitman he hired also targets his ex-girlfriend, he must fend off an army of assassin colleagues and win back the love of his life before it's too late. Here is our conversation with Dave Bautista and friend to iHollywoodTV, Terry Crews.
Here we go. Let's do this. Here we go. When I read this script and I saw, this whole system, this syndicate of assassins that are all organized and have rules and have their own app, I was like, I'm in. I like it. I got to get the app. It's got that super edge, and it takes things to a whole nother level where you'll never be bored. You know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, we're going here, and then we're going here, and then we're going here, which I have to give it up to JJ, who really has taken this as far as it can go, but in the most entertaining, most fun, most bombastic way possible.
I loved that it was a love story disguised as an action film. And I came across The Killer's Game years ago, and I just thought, at the core of it, it's just a great love story. It's a fun love story. And then surrounded by, a lot of badass action. Now we have all these interesting, quirky characters, and all the really world-class action and a love story at the heart. So I think it's just, in a lot of different ways, it's going to be something special. It's going to be more than just an action film that you've seen. And it does have those moments of levity, which I think, these type of films, they need. Because when, at the end of the day, people want to be entertained. And so if it's so much gratuitous action over and over and over, it just becomes monotonous. But you throw in those moments of levity, you throw those moments of romance, and you throw in that, a heartwarming story between Joe and Zvi, that makes for a very well-rounded story, which you don't typically get with fast-paced action films. So I think in a lot of different ways, we're just going to set ourselves apart.
Come on, tough guy. Let's go. Come on!
It's already a world that you feel like exists somewhere. I think that there's just always room for movies like this. There's always room for things that take it to this extreme level, but it still stays grounded. And it's really wild because it's still very believable in all respects. It's like this network of assassins. You gotta play the game the way it's played. And the way these systems and rules work, it keeps the world together. And it allows everyone to get their check. Because that's what it's really all about. Everyone's trying to find their unique ways to get paid.
Joe Flood was probably always somewhat of a misfit, never really found where he fit in until he was in the military. I think he found his calling and found that he was naturally good at combat. So I think it's one of those things where he really pursued what he does for a living, really just because it was a kind of a natural order for him. It was a natural flow, a natural progression, not because anyone, ever wakes up and thinks, you know what I want to be when I grow up? An assassin. But I think Joe Flood found what he was good at, and he pursued it, and found other people that were kind of, pursuing the same interests. And so he fell into this world, and I think now he's older, and he's starting to reflect and see that he's missing a few things, maybe a few things that he's never realized he was missing. And I think one of those huge things is love. I think Joe Flood's in love for the very first time, and he doesn't know how to deal with it emotionally. He doesn't know where to put those emotions.
don't you try one? Yum, yum, yum. Get in the car.
Right.
And stop bleeding everywhere.
You good, yeah? All right.
Creighton Lovedoll, the way his character is designed, he's from Detroit, but he sees himself as an artist. He doesn't see himself as an assassin. With every hit that he does, it's a mini concerto. The way he references everything to music, I thought was such a beautiful touch. Where you could tell he loves everything from jazz to classical to Motown, but he doesn't like the new stuff. He's really all about the originality. And he just happens to be the star of the show. And everyone else is in his orchestra. You're playing, but you're really accompanying me, is his mindset. He wants the most luxurious, the finest things in life. If he's gonna have it, it's gotta be the best. And he judges everyone else in his world by what they like. If you don't feel the same way about something that he does, he knows not even pay you any mention. Either way, it's gonna be done at its highest level, and that is Creighton Lovedoll.
Right there. Yep.
I love Dave Bautista like my brother. He's a really gentle man. He's really about helping people. He's really about, his heart is always in the right place. And to me, that's all that matters. And what I love about Dave is that he's very sensitive to people around him, to how they feel, their emotions. Everyone feels comfortable. Everyone feels wonderful. He has no need to feel like the biggest personality in the room. You feel like he's listening to you, which is so amazing. And I've been in other places where it wasn't that way with those kind of personalities. But it just proves what a big star he is. And it proves that there's nothing but success headed for him, even more so than he's already had. I think he could truly be one of the biggest stars in the world. No one has ever seen Dave Bautista like this. It's truly an original. This is a role that everyone has been waiting to see him in. I think the world will be ready to see him as one of the major action stars, period. I think it's beautiful.
We've been looking for a project together for years and years and years and years, and we just couldn't make anything work. And this was just kind of a last minute thing that just fell together. I told him, I said, when I see you, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug. And when he showed up and I saw him on set, I did. I picked him up, and I don't think Terry Crews is used to getting picked up. I picked him up. I was just so happy that we're finally able to do this together. And he's got a role that is just so tailor-made for him. He's just gonna pop out, and people are gonna be quoting him. They're gonna be quoting him. They're gonna be quoting Lovedoll like they quote Drax. And he's gonna get tired of hearing it, because all they're gonna do over his social media is quote Lovedoll for the next 10 years. I'm so happy he's here, and I love him as Lovedoll, but I love him more as a human being, because he is just such a good-natured, kind human being, and I just love him to death, and I thank God that we're able to do this together.
Be sure to catch The Killer's Game in theaters on Friday, September 13th. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a new video. And I'll see you back here next time on iHollywoodTV. Bye-bye.